I'm using the second definition of lie. I have no evidence it's the first. This video came out right as we were building momentum, then except for one boost in Germany, the signatures started drying up like clockwork. This put me in kind of a no-win scenario too, because if I ignored it, then a lot of people were going to get misinformed about the campaign. But if I did a response video, which is not something I wanted to do anyway, then it might look like drama farming, which could understandably turn off a lot of people from the campaign, because it's not about that at all. So I quickly made this video trying to clear up all misconceptions and concerns about the initiative with timestamps for everyone's questions, hoping the truth would eventually come out. I can see now that was a mistake. I should have just embraced the drama. To this day, I'm still getting frequent comments and emails about the same falsehoods about the campaign that originated in this video. Well, now I have nothing to lose. If we don't get the signatures, then none of this matters anyway. So if this campaign is failing because of me not talking about this, then I'll at least correct history here on the way down. I'll get this over with and go over what I think are the biggest points of Pirate Software's videos. I'm not going to go over everything because collectively Thor has made hours of video on both me and the movement. I'd be here forever. Believe me, I could address smaller things too, and kind of already have. Alright, let's start. Okay, point number 1. Thor does not understand what Stop Killing Games is. Here it is in his words.
So for those who don't understand, the Stop Killing Games initiatives is basically we don't want single-player games to have DRM that the developers can turn off and thus render the single-player games inactive anymore. That's the...
And we're back. Welcome back, fellow gamers, fellow rumblers. Welcome back to the channel. And welcome back to another reaction. This time we are reacting to I Support the Stop Killing Games movement by Nintendine. Is that a play on words? On Nintendo? Nintendine? I'm just guessing. I have no idea. Maybe it's a play on word on the word 19, you know? In any case, guys, if you guys want to watch the video without me talking over it, just go to Nintendine's channel in YouTube and watch it there. And before I play the video, let's take a look at Stop Killing Games. Okay, 5. I'm going to refresh it. Okay, so we are very close to 599 because it's 598,959. Okay, yeah, we need to get this to 600,000 today, and then tomorrow 700,000, 800,000 the next day, and 900,000 the day after, and the big one, 1 million. The day after the other day. Okay, so let's go back to the video and let's find out why Nintendine supports the Stop Killing Game initiative.
Alright folks, so recently I've started doing a little bit of research on the Stop Killing Games movement. I've known
great
kind of read up on it. I supported it from
I need other people to do the research for me
naturally in the
because I can't do the research with my bad eyesight.
Now, you're going to have to bear with me because I don't think I am necessarily the most qualified person to talk about this thing. But I do think it's something worth sharing my opinion on.
Well, my bad eyesight is just an excuse.
And allowing you
I just don't want to read
a lot of
text
about it than I do. But
if you've seen, or if you have
quite familiar with it,
if you're familiar with
the discussion onto the forefront.
Legal documents,
straight from their website.
They are basically walls and walls of text.
The legality of publishers destroying video games they sold to customers. An increasing number of video games are sold effectively as goods with no stated expiration date, but designed to be completely unplayable as soon as support from the publisher ends.
Exactly.
This practice is a form of planned obsolescence.
Exactly.
Detrimental to the customers, but it makes preservation effectively impossible. So basically, imagine there's a video game, right? You either spent money to buy it or you just spent a bunch of money on the game over time. It's something you've invested your hard-earned hours on, something you've invested your actual dollars into. It's a game you completely enjoy, but it's entirely reliant on an infinite online support server just carrying it on at all times. Which means if the publisher finds that it is no longer worthy for them to...
It is a form of DRM, an online DRM.
...stop you from playing the game. Meaning all of the hours you put into it, all of the money you put into it is all for nothing. You can't play these games locally, you can't play...
You will own nothing.
You can't...
And you will be sad.
It gets completely and entirely...
Because no one will be happy.
...for you to enjoy it anymore.
Imagine buying something you don't really own.
I don't know, the 2010s. Pretty much every...
That is what Stop Killing Games is trying to...
Or you bought it digitally, if you want to
prevent or fight or correct, I guess correct,
on those games for the most part. But in
the practice of buying something
these subscription packs that
you do not own,
when you can and can't play their titles, and they can effectively pull the plug on them whenever they like. So I don't know, in relation to the Switch 2, imagine the upcoming Drag and Drive game is just not doing well in a few years from now. And all of you guys decide to spend $20 on there. And then after a while, Nintendo's like, well, we're not going to keep the server running for this. It's kind of pointless. Nobody's playing online. And they just unplug it and you have nothing that you can play anymore. And in fairness,
and you paid money.
Apply to Drag and Drive because Drag and Drive might
again
have kind of single player.
What will happen here is because corporations are shrewd, they are very shrewd, and
this movement would
they are always trying to find ways of saving money
allowing you to
instead of having an end-of-life plan.
Again, this is
they will just change
Drag and Drive and how well it's going to
the language.
Over the past year, they have successfully
so instead of buy,
this problem to consumer agencies,
for example in Steam, instead of buy, they will use rent,
this problem to various
or they will use license.
Documented all this stuff, and a list of the actions taken can be viewed there. Currently, the biggest one that's open is the European citizens.
Because using the word buy means
need to reach 1 million. I think
you own the product or the item that you bought.
He argued that when studios make a game dependent on servers and later shut them down, they're essentially selling something with an expiration date. But he's actually gotten a lot of pushback from Pirate Software, Jason Hall, which is ironic because you'd think somebody that is known as Pirate Software would be in support of this kind of thing.
Nah, that is I guess a misnomer or a misdirect.
I don't know, look it up. I'm not here trying to stir beef, but this is what I'm hearing. And he is
obviously,
or initially,
not a pirate.
And has since
just take a look at him.
Against it as well.
Where is the parrot?
Unrealistic. And
where is the eye patch?
Game devs.
Where is the hat?
Is vague. Basically,
he is clearly not a pirate.
Solutions, and saying that it creates legal and technical burdens that most indie studios can't afford, and it could hurt the industry by setting unrealistic expectations. So Ross actually had an hour-long video where he replied to all of these claims from Pirate Software, which I highly recommend watching if you'd like to spend an hour learning about it. Again, I'm not the best source for this, but I'm just trying to do whatever little bit I can to potentially spread awareness on this. So Ross,
dude, you're doing great.
Software has
and
the campaign's goal.
Everyone that supports the initiative, thanks you for it.
It's about
thank you.
Basic access to purchase games, even post shutdown. And most importantly, Pirate's comments has hurt the momentum during a very crucial phase. Ross said that he offered to talk to him about it. He wanted to educate him on the matter. He doesn't mind if you hate.
He doesn't want to have a live conversation because he knows.
What you think
he knows.
And he's very.
He will be exposed, and he doesn't want to be exposed early.
From Pirate Software.
But as you can see, in the end,
misinformed about the campaign. And if
he was still exposed.
addresses these criticisms from Pirate Software, it's gonna look like he's just creating some type of internet drama. And that's not what he wants to do. He's worked very hard on this Stop Killing Games initiative, and that's his primary focus. Now, again, I assume that most of you have noticed a lot of the most popular YouTubers talking about this. And you can pretty clearly see many people are standing with the Stop Killing Games movement in this regard.
Because no one in their right mind wants the destruction of a product.
Looking into the signatures. In America, there's a whole other thing going on with the FTC, and you can look at the website for that. But generally speaking, using the law allows you to kind of get a hold on the industry when you can't make a movement against the corporations. Right, I've mostly been pushing voting with your wallet, and that's for quality of games, and the reality is, even if you tell people to vote for their wallet, there's going to be a lot of people who are just like, well, my wallet's bigger than yours, so I am voting with it. Then, I mean, that's fine, whatever floats your boat. But when law is involved, when game preservation is involved, these are workarounds so that even when there are people who are just going to cover their ears or bury their heads in the sand and not vote with their wallets the way that they should be voting for the sake of the industry, using laws to force these companies to solve our problems is very important. And the victories, no matter where they are in the world, are going to help on a worldwide scale, even though it might not seem like it at first. Like, think about the Joy-Con drift issue that we had. That was not solved because people stopped buying Joy-Cons and stopped supporting Nintendo. That issue was solved because Nintendo was legally required to fix the Joy-Cons. And in general, these legalities are what effectively...
So you're saying the problem was solved
gaming industry to
by the government.
Despite this insistence on
Good job, government.
greedy and money-hungry practices that we see day in and day out from these corporations. Look, I shared some links in my description. I highly recommend finding people that...
I do understand that corporations or businesses are made to make money, but still,
ticking. They don't have too much time left to get these petitions signed. And
it shouldn't be to the detriment
I'll consider it worth it.
of the consumers.
Thank you for listening. I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, so this is a very short one. Again, guys, if you want to support or if you want to watch the video without me talking over it, all you have to do is go to Nintendo's channel in YouTube and watch it there. So guys, I'm going to end the stream here. I know it's a very short one. I usually do this like a very long one and then I would take a break. I use the break to search for videos to react to or comment to. But unfortunately, my internet connection is very unstable. If I do a very long stream, the connection becomes unstable and it messes up the audio and the video. I just realized it now. So guys, again, go check out Nintendo's video, especially if you want to listen to the entire thing without me interrupting. Again, go to Nintendo's channel in YouTube. So guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, and all that jazz. And see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.